In this lesson, we will review a completed version of the Georgia Estimate of Cost to Buyer form to give you an idea of what information needs to be included, as well as what debits and credits are attributed to the buyer at closing. Let's start at the top of the form, which lists some basic information about the transaction and the loan. Anthony and Amy Kennedy are purchasing a $280,000 house. The closing is set for the following month on April 15th. The Kennedys are looking to obtain a conventional loan of $252,000, which equals a 90% LTV. The loan is a 30-year, fully amortized loan with an interest rate of 4.9%. Using this information, we can now start to complete the rest of the form line by line. Line 1 lists the down payment. Since the Kennedys are obtaining a loan for 90% of the purchase price, they only need to pay a 10% down payment, which equals $28,000. Line 2 lists the closing costs, which in this transaction are set at 2% of the purchase price, or $4,600. Line 3 is left blank because the Kennedys opted not to pay any discount points upfront to the lender. Line 4 lists the amount of property taxes the lender requires in escrow. The Kennedys will prepay 12 months of property taxes, or $4,320. Line 5 lists the amount of homeowners insurance paid in escrow. In this transaction, the lender only requires 2 months of homeowners insurance prepaid in escrow, which amounts to $160. Line 6 lists a full year's worth of PMI paid in escrow. Since the Kennedys are obtaining a conventional loan and the LTV is greater than 80%, they must pay PMI. In this transaction, the lender set the annual PMI fee to 0.5% of the loan amount, or $1,260. Line 7 lists prepaid interest for the remaining days in April. As we will see at the bottom of the document, the Kennedys' first mortgage payment won't occur until June 1st. Their first mortgage payment will include principal and interest for the month of May. However, they still have to pay interest for the remaining days of April. That is why they must pay 15 days worth of interest in escrow, or $514.50. To find the interest paid per day, we must first multiply the annual interest rate by the loan amount. This equals $252,000 times 0.049 equals $12,348. Next, we divide that number by 360, since the banking calendar is 360 days rather than 365. $12,348 divided by 360 equals $34.30. Line 8 lists the first year's homeowner's insurance premium of $960. Most homeowners pay their insurance on an annual basis, and since homeowner's insurance is paid in advance, a full 12 months of insurance is paid at closing. A loan transfer fee and purchase of the seller's escrow account are left blank since they do not apply to this transaction. Line 11 is left blank because property taxes in Georgia are typically paid at the end of the year. This means the buyer will pay the full year's taxes and must receive a credit for the days the seller owned the property until the closing date of April 15th. This is shown as a credit to the buyer on line 14. Line 12 lists the transfer tax at $280. The buyer is typically responsible for paying the Georgia transfer tax. Remember, the transfer tax is equal to 10 cents for every $100 of the full purchase price, since the buyer is not assuming the seller's existing loan. This amounts to $280,000 divided by $100 equals $2,800 times 10 cents equals $280. Line 13 lists the intangible tax at $756. Once again, this tax is typically paid by the buyer. It is equal to the loan amount divided by $500 and then multiplied by $1.50. In this case, the intangible tax would equal $252,000 divided by $500 equals $504, times $1.50 equals $756. As mentioned before, the buyer will be prorated a portion of the property taxes for the days the seller still owned the property, January 1st to April 15th. To calculate this, we first need to determine the amount paid in property taxes per day. This would be $4,320 divided by 365 equals $11.8356. Next, we need to determine how many days there are between January 1st and April 15th. This equals 31 days in January, plus 28 days in February, plus 31 days in March, plus the first 15 days in April, which amounts to a total of 105 days. Finally, we multiply 105 by $11.8356 to get $1,242.74. Line 15 lists the earnest money, which in this case equaled 1% of the purchase price, or $2,800. Finally, we get to the total estimate of cost to the buyer on line 17. To find this, we must add up all of the numbers from lines 1 to 13, and then subtract the numbers from lines 14 to 16 to get a total cost of $36,807.76. The bottom portion of the document lists the buyer's estimated monthly payment. The monthly principal and interest on a $252,000 30-year loan at 4.9% interest equals $1,337.43. As listed on line 8, the annual homeowner's insurance is $960, which means the monthly amount is $80. This will continue to be paid in the buyer's escrow account each month, as required by the lender. The annual PMI is listed on line 6 as $1,260. The monthly PMI will amount to $105. Like homeowners insurance, PMI will continue to be paid in the buyer's escrow account each month. Finally, we get the monthly tax payment of $360 from line 4. This is also continuously paid in escrow on a monthly basis. This gives us a total monthly payment of $1,882.43. At the bottom of the document, the due date for the first monthly payment is listed as June 1st. Mortgage payments are typically paid for the previous month, and most lenders will wait for a full month to pass before the first payment is required. This is why the due date is set for June 1st rather than May 1st.